Previously on The Life of Hollywood.
To the classes. It was not refunding our money. And I went, and it was scary, but I fell in love. Found a new gig. And that's a quick, abbreviated part of it, Marcus.
Nice, nice. And is it tough looking for roles and auditions?
Well, yeah, Marcus, you're in it too. So, you're for every 20, 30 submissions, maybe you get one or two invites to audition. And as an actor, you gotta, even if you got an agent, the agent expects you to go out there and hustle your own gigs too. So um, it's not an easy gig, but if you love.
Welcome to the life of Hollywood, hosted by Marcus Nocerino. Welcome to the life of Hollywood, hosted by Marcus Nocerino. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of The Life of Hollywood, a podcast where we converse with working professionals about their start in the competitive world of Hollywood. I'm your host, Marcus Nocerino. Hollywood is full of all the glitz and glam, but behind the scenes, it's where a world where obtaining a job, position, or role is challenging and rough. Today's guest will show us her ways and will introduce us on how she manages to live and inspire the life of Hollywood. My guest today is Emma Parks, who's known for her various roles on Darman Studios, a YouTube channel that's family friendly. She's also known for her short film, Dirty Tallow, that she co-wrote, produced, and starred in. Wow, triple threat. Emma, thank you so much for being here today and for joining me today to talk about your journey in Hollywood.
Hi, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much for joining me. So, talk to me about how you got started.
Yeah, so I mean, I've wanted to be an actress for as long as I can remember. I remember just watching, The Sound of Music with my grandma when I was like 5 years old, and I saw Julie Andrews spinning on top of the hill, and I was like, that is it. That is what I want to do. And so since then, I participated in local theater. I took classes. I did theater in high school. And then I eventually auditioned for NYU and got in and ended up studying drama there, which was just so fantastic and pushed me in so many ways. And then since graduating last year, I've just been in the real world auditioning and making my own work and trying to just, do the Hollywood actor thing. So that's kind of the basics of my trajectory.
And what was the audition process like for NYU?
Yeah, I mean, I auditioned at a weird time because it's like when everything started to go asynchronous and all the auditions were online because of like COVID and the pandemic. And so it was really just an initial audition tape that got me through the pre-screen, and then I had to go on Zoom and I had, my two contrasting monologues, and that was kind of the process. I did it, had my essays, the, other side of it. And, I auditioned for probably like 20 different colleges because college drama programs, I mean, as most people know, are so competitive to get into. So you have to kind of throw a wide net. And I was just really lucky to be accepted there and get to train there and perform in shows and just be surrounded by such talented people in a city that's, known for the arts and just supporting artists in general in such a beautiful way.
And especially since NYU is a big school, especially for the theater program, and you
Yeah.
said you acted in so many like productions. What was your favorite production you acted in?
Good question. Um, I did this one play through my studio. I was in Strasbourg, so we studied method, which is not, your typical do drugs to be on drugs in a movie. Like that's not the type of method we learned. Ours is more based in sense memory, and like basically creating these worlds that are based on your own memories in a way that feels so real in the moment. Um, and at that studio, we did a show called You on the Moors Now, and it was kind of a really interesting feminist take on all of like the classic female-led literature from like, Jane Austen and people like that. And it took all these characters. I think it was actually who was in it? I played Kathy Earnshaw from Wuthering Heights. And then it also had Joe March, and there was two other characters who can't remember right now, but it took them into this world and made it, what if they're all in the same world and it's kind of this fantastical land where everything crosses over? And it was just a very kind of unique show that was just allowed us to play so much. And, that's my favorite thing to do as an actor, just get to go in and have fun and create just a completely different world than what I exist in. So it would probably be that one.
Nice, nice. And tell me how your experience at NYU was.
It was good. I mean, it definitely pushed me as an actor, which is everything you can hope for in drama school. You want to get better, but you go from being in high school and being in a place where you're often a bigger fish in a small pond to being at this program where, everyone who got in there is just so insanely talented because it is one of the best programs out there. And so it's just you're constantly being pushed by the people around you to just be better and to keep working and diving deeper into character work. And I mean, we spent, man, I have to go back to my college days now. I know it was only a year ago, but it feels longer. We had like 3 days a week of studio where we're basically there from 9 to 6. And then if you're in a show every day, you're there for rehearsals for 4 hours after. And it was just a gift to be able to be immersed in that world. It was exhausting sometimes. And definitely, there's moments where you're like, am I good enough to be here? But then you do some scene and you feel it so deeply and you're like, oh, okay, this is why I'm here and why I love this. And it's awesome. And we had crazy classes too. Like I did Tai Chi and I did dance and I did accents and just such a wide variety of things. So it was an amazing place to be for sure.
And for one of your auditions that you've been to, have you ever done any like Tai Chi or dance? Because I know like a lot of auditions, there's like you have to have like some kind of special skill, especially what you see on movies and
Yeah.
TV. Have you ever done like Tai Chi or dance for like a certain audition?
I mean, I've definitely done dance in auditions. I don't think I've ever had to actually use the Tai Chi within an audition, but I think there's things that this is so funny. I never thought I'd be talking about Tai Chi. There's like things it teaches you. Like, for example, it's kind of all about energy and movement and this flow state almost. And I feel like as an actor, wow, my teacher would be so impressed that I'm connecting this to acting because I've never thought through this. I guess in a sense, it's almost like as an actor, you're constantly giving and receiving energy and you're trying to kind of reach that flow where it's just you're not even in your head. Like that was a big part of it, is it's like it's so in your body that you don't have to think about these movements. And I guess that is kind of what I try to do every time I act, just receive energies, give it back, and just not be too in my head where I'm focused more on myself than the scene or, the other person in the scene with me. So I guess in that sense I've used it. And I've used it in the streets of New York. Only once, but
And for the audition that you had to dance for, which project was that? And did you book it, or were you like so close to book it, but then you it just didn't fall through?
yeah. I mean, I've definitely just used dance in auditions for musicals that I've done throughout the years, and some I've gotten, some I haven't. I mean, I love to sing. I also recognize that there's many super insanely talented singers out there who can probably belt better than I can. And so sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. But I also think it's just fun to have dance in your back pocket because, if you're ever feeling lots of emotions, that sounds cheesy, but it's nice to go into a studio and just kind of dance your little heart out.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. And speaking of singing, have you ever thought about starting a music career?
I have thought about it. I mean, when I was a kid, it definitely was a huge dream for me. I was like, wow, I want to be a pop star. But I don't know if I have, I don't know. I don't know if I have the skills compared to lots of other people to get there with that. But who knows? Like maybe one day. A psychic once told me that she thought music was going to play a big part of my career. So I guess stay tuned and we'll find out.
Yeah, and then you act in Darman Studios where you basically play a character like Hannah Montana. Tell me about like the audition process about that.
Yeah, that was a really fun role. I mean, I think like lots of people, I was a big Hannah Montana fan growing up. It really actually, it was one audition, and I remember I felt really good about the tape, but it was one of those auditions where I kind of just did it in one or two takes, which is very rare for me. I'm one of those people who does like 30 takes because I keep thinking I can do better, but then I always end up liking one of the earlier ones. But for this one, I was just kind of like, I think I got it. And I didn't really think that deeply about this one when I was submitting, which I guess people always say it's like the ones you least expect to get that you end up getting. But I sent it in and it was just one of the more emotional, but also, I don't know, just the bigger dialogue-y scene. And I sent it in. And I think just a day or two later, they reached out and said they wanted me to do the role. And I thought it was super cool. And I was
See you later on the life of Hollywood.